This video is to show the new highlights of the improved loan modification machine system. To enter the program, just click this button and click the loan modification icon at the top. There is the new layout where you see very defined the different areas for the borrower, co-borrower, templates, private notes, a status report that you can email to your customer, first, second, and third mortgage, current deal, proposed deal, a way to select a lender. So for example, I can do find, put GMAC, select a lender, and then click the blue arrow to copy the data to the right places. The guidelines, if any, will be copied in this space. Here you can check the BPO, a possible BPO, from two different sources, Zillow and RealQuest. Just by clicking on it, it will open your browser with the correct comparable, with the correct BPO and comparables. Here we have the task manager integrated to control all your follow-ups and tasks, one-click groups, user-defined fields. Here we have the forms menu where we have the application form, checklist, letter of hardship, authorization form, client's responsibilities, working agreement, power of attorney, attorney retaining contract, lender's benefits analysis, client benefits analysis, client proposal, client financial statement, and the necessary 4506T form. Majority of them are editable, like this one, and you can change the text in it. And also the letter of hardship, the authorization form, client responsibility, working agreements is editable, power of attorney, attorney retaining. These ones are special forms, like the lender's benefits analysis, that will tell the lender how much money they're gonna lose if they don't do the loan modification. And the opposite is the client benefits analysis that will show the potential saving for the client by doing the modification. Here we find the tab area where when we can get unlimited documents, we can scan documents and automatically convert them into PDF. We can record messages from the phone, for example, to your to the computer. Check your local laws about recording conversations, but you can have unlimited documents, unlimited recording, and you can email or fax those documents at the click of a mouse. You can also post the progress status of your clients to your own domain to the internet, on the internet, where your clients can go 24/7 and check for the progress status of their cases without having to call you. Probably the most important part is the new HAM system, the Home Affordable Modification Program, which had been released on March 4th, 2009. This program had been improved to qualify more people than before with the previous SMP program. The highlights are in our program that you can have an area that will tell you with words possible errors. For example, assuming that the current UPB in this case is $1 million something, it will tell you that the maximum for a one unit property is 750,000. So immediately you can see in this area if you're making any mistakes. Here you have an area where you can have your basic questions, like basic qualifying questions to ask, for example. Then click view and have them right here. The system is very easy to operate. Just fill in the blanks, in the yellow fields. Majority of even the yellow fields will be filled in automatically, but you will enter the original UPB, the term, the original date, any month past due, the current UPB, or you can get it suggested, monthly taxes, escrow, and the Freddie Mac weekly rate, which you can obtain by clicking this button, and the system automatically will tell you if it's eligible or not under the new plan. And you can see here, for example, in this example, we have there is a small difference based on the income that this person has, which is just an example, that it will be eligible for modification. And additionally, we will have the amortization table that reflects that amortization, which of course you can email or fax to your lender along with this particular form. So now let me show you, for example, a few changes that I could make to produce some particular errors. For example, assuming that I had some personal loans here, you see that we have 51% of back-end expenses for a DTI on the back end of 51. So if I increase the debt, the back-end debt, by putting, for example, $500 more here, we're going to receive an error, or at least a warning that is not eligible because it needs counseling with a HUD counselor because of the back-end debt income ratio is 55 or more. In this case is 67. So that will help you a lot to avoid potential errors before presenting your deal to the lender. Also, for example, let's assume that we had less. In this particular case, we have a 31%, and you can see that the remaining amortization term is used for modification, which means that we're going to use this remaining term for the modification. But assuming that I had less income, in this case still is okay because the 30-year rate is higher than the floor rate, which is 2%. But if I put still less, we can present a different scenario. In this case, what we see is that the interest rate is less than the program fall, so we need to extend the amortization term, which is done automatically. And so when you recalculate the eligibility, when you click recalculate, we see that still eligible, but in this case needs counseling because of the higher DTI. Remember that we had maintained these fixed, so to speak, expenses, and we had less income now. But also in the amortization tables, we see that before we had 30 years and now had been extended to 40 years automatically. So everything is automatic in the HAM system, and only a few clicks will make the difference. So you will know if the client is pre-approved or not. So you can pre-approve the client before you send the deal to your lender, and then you will be able to send the form and the amortization tables by email, e-fax, or print it just by clicking one icon. In a nutshell, you can reduce the time from hours to simply a few minutes, the pre-approval or not, and be more certain if your client is going to be approved with your lender under the new law of the HAM program, the Home Affordable Modification Program.